Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is this matter around us pure, we were talking about that of the properties of the metal and non-metal. We have understood also that how metals differ from that of the non-metal, and what are metalloids. The metalloids are generally, these are the borderline elements which shows both of the properties, that is metal as well as that of the non-metal. That's why it is used in the semiconductor also. So boron, arsenic, germanium, gallium, silicon, antimony, these all are what? These all are the different metalloids. Okay, examples of the metalloids. Now we have started to understand that of the compound. So let us try to understand about the compound. See student, if we talk about the elements, we have seen elements are the pure substances which cannot be divided further. What about in case of a compound? In case of a compound is also a pure substances. But the definition of the compound is what? It means it is in which two or more elements they combine together in a fixed ratio or fixed proportion by mass, that we call as a compound. Okay, so when two or more elements they combine together, like we have seen in case of example of a water or that of the carbon dioxide. So there, in case of a water, the formula of the water is H2O. So we have seen that when the hydrogen, the atomic mass of hydrogen and the oxygen, if we see the proportion here, the two elements they have combined together to form the compound, and this hydrogen and oxygen, it is always combining with the ratio of 1:8. So doesn't matter from where we have taken the compound, it will always, means from where we have obtained this compound, but it will always 1:8. I told you about it that if suppose we are taking the water from your kitchen, from your tap water, or even from the river, from lake, even from the ocean also, or anywhere in a pond also, so the formula of the water will remain the same, that is H2O, and the ratio between the both of the element, it is what? That is 1:8. Similarly, if we take an example of a carbon dioxide, this also I told you yesterday, like in case of a carbon dioxide, the carbon and oxygen, they have combined together to form carbon dioxide, and this combination always occur in a 3:8 by mass. Okay, it means doesn't matter from where we have obtained the carbon dioxide. It can be obtained by the decomposition of limestone. It can be obtained by the combination reaction in which the combustion process occurs. The carbon reacts with the oxygen to form carbon dioxide. In both of the cases, you will find that the carbon dioxide is produced, and this carbon dioxide, it is in the ratio of 3:8. Okay, so we can say that a compound is what? It is a pure substances in which two or more elements they combine together in a fixed proportion by mass. Okay, now let us see here some of the other examples, like copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is what? That is also a compound. Then sodium hydroxide, NaOH, that is also a compound. Then calcium carbonate, sodium chloride, NaCl, CaCO3, sulfuric acid, sugar, glucose. These all are what? These all are the compound in which the different elements they combine together to form the compound, and they are combining with each other in a fixed ratio by mass. Now let us see some of the properties of the compound, some of the characteristic of the compounds. So characteristics. So the first characteristic of compound is what? In a compound, the constituent The constituent elements are present in a definite proportion by mass. In a definite proportion by mass. So the constituent elements are present in a definite proportion by mass, in which the compound is nothing but where the two or more elements they combine together and they are combining with the definite mass by proportion. The next one is and okay, we can take an example of here, like if we talk about the iron sulfide, FeS. So here iron, it has combined with the sulfur to form the iron sulfide. This iron reacts with the sulfur, and then when we heat it, then there is a formation of a iron sulfide occur. Now this iron sulfide, the ratio, if we talk about the ratio by mass, so it will be the iron atomic mass is 56, that of the sulfur 32. Okay, so 32, when we simplify it, we will get, it will be 7:4. Okay, so iron and sulfur, they combine together in a fixed ratio by mass, and that is 7:4. So the constituent element, they present which combine together to form a definite proportion by mass. The next one is the property of the compound is totally different from the property of the constituent element through which it is made up of. See students, if we are understanding their characteristic, let me tell you, let me give an example of a FeS only. How this FeS is made up of. Actually, FeS is made, we have taken the iron filling, we have taken the sulfur powder. When we will mix both of them and when we heat it, then there is a formation of a black mass substance, and this is called as the iron sulfide. Remember, we have taken both of them and we are heating it. When we heat it, then there is a reaction taking place between that of the iron filling and the sulfur. So when the reaction takes place, we are providing the heat to it. So when they react each other, that is a chemical change. It means a chemical reaction has taken place there. Okay, and thus the formation of a new substance occurs. That new substance is a iron sulfide. Okay, so let us see the second property of the compound. So the second property is the property of a compound the properties of a compound are different from the properties of its constituent elements. So the properties of compound are different from the property of its constituent element. How we will able to understand this? So see, here we are again taking an example of an iron sulfide. See, iron sulfide is made up of iron and sulfur. Here iron is there and the sulfur is there. So how it is different from that of the iron sulfide? So in case of iron is having a magnetic power. So suppose when we take that of, so if we will see here that since it is made up of iron and sulfur, and the statement says that the properties of the compound different from the property of its constituent element. So how? See, if we talk about the iron is having the magnetic property. So if we take a magnet near to that of the iron fillings, the iron fillings get attracted towards it, right? So this is how we can say that this is the actual property of that of the magnet, of the iron, because iron is what? It is the magnetic material, so it will show the attraction towards the magnet. That is its property. What is the property of the sulfur? So when we take this sulfur powder and dissolve it into the carbon disulfide solution, then this sulfur will get easily dissolved into the carbon disulfide solution. Okay. Now, this is the property of the iron and this is the property of the sulfur. Now, what we will do, how we will came to this, understand this statement in which the property of the compound, it means property of the FeS are different from the iron and the sulfur, is constituent element. So, when the FeS, when the formation of the FeS occur, suppose this is the reaction when iron react with the sulfur to form a FeS. This is showing the magnetic property. This will react with the carbon disulfide and easily get to dissolve into it. Now, iron sulfide is formed here. We have provided heat to it. Okay, iron sulfide is what? That is a compound. So, if we will take the magnet near to that of the iron sulfide, we will find that the iron sulfide do not get stick or do not get attracted towards that of the magnet. Okay, so here it proves that the iron which is present in the iron sulfide compound is not showing its constituent property. Right? Earlier, when it was an element, at that time it shows the property in which it gets attracted towards the magnet. But as it gets converted into iron sulfide, in iron sulfide, the iron which is present in it do not get attracted towards the magnet. That's why we can say here it is not following, it is not having the same property as its constituent element was having. Now the second one, we have taken this FeS, iron sulfide, and we will dissolve it into the carbon disulfide. Whether it will going to dissolve in it? No. It will not get dissolved into the sulfide, into the carbon disulfide, and which proves that the sulfur which is present in this iron sulfide compound, it is not showing the property of the constituent element or the constituent sulfur from which it is made up. So we can say that the property which was shown by the both of the constituent element, the compound which is formed, it do not show the same property. It is having its own property that is totally different from the constituent element from which it is made up of. Next property is the constituent element of a compound cannot be separated by simple physical process. So, if we talk about the constituent element, so we can say here that the constituent element of the compound cannot be separated by the simple physical process. Now it is what? The first one, if we see here, the iron sulfide. So iron sulfide is what? That is made up of an iron and sulfur. So is it possible to separate the iron and sulfur from each other by a simple physical method? When we talk about the simple physical method here, it is saying about evaporation or boiling or distillation or fractional distillation or sublimation formation. Is it possible to separate it? No. With the physical means, with the physical separation, we cannot separate the compound into its constituent element. Okay, like if we take that of the magnet, that is a magnetic separation which comes in the physical process when we dissolve it into the carbon disulfide. So that is the filtration process in which we used to make one object to get dissolved into the other, and the residue which is not dissolving, it can be separated through the filtration process. So that process it cannot also is a physical process, and there if we take the carbon disulfide and dissolve the iron sulfide into it will not going to dissolve in it. So obviously by these two we have understood that the compound is what cannot be separated into its constituent element by a simple physical process. What happened in case of a water also? Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. When hydrogen and oxygen they combine together, then there is a formation of H2O. Is it possible to separate the H2O by evaporation, distillation or fraction distillation or magnetic separation? No. We cannot separate it. We can simply separate it through the process of electrolysis. By applying electric arc to it, we will be able to separate the H2O into H2 and O2. So by simple physical process, we are not able to separate the compound from each other. So formation of compound is generally accompanied by evolution of energy in the form of heat or light. In the form of heat or light. In the form of heat or light. So the compound which is formed here, it is what? It is accompanied by evolution of heat and energy. So when the iron filling and sulfur it react with each other, it glows red hot, which proves that there is a release of a heat as well as there is a release of a energy also. Okay, and when the iron it reacts with the sulfur, then there is a formation of a black colored compound, and that black colored compound is what? That is iron sulfide. Next one is compound is having fixed melting and boiling point. Fixed, it is having the fixed melting boiling. Compound has a fixed melting and boiling point. Okay, so if we talk about that of the iron sulfide it melts with a definite temperature. Okay, so iron sulfide or water or carbon dioxide, anything is there, student, it is having the fixed melting as well as fixed boiling point. Compound is always homogeneous in nature. It is always homogeneous in nature. Compound is always a homogeneous in nature, students. Okay. So, it means what? It means we cannot distinguish between the different things. It appears similar. All the substance which is present in it, it will be what? It is same throughout the mass. That's why it is what? It is homogeneous in nature. So these are what, student, these are some of the properties of that of the compound. So what are the things that we have seen here? The first one, the compound is made up of two or more different elements with which they, when combined together in a definite proportion by mass. The second one is compound is what the property of the compound is different from that of the property of its constituent element. Third one is the constituent element of the compound cannot be separated by the simple physical process. Then the formation of a compound is always accompanied by the evolution of a heat or light, as well as compound is what it is having the fixed melting and a boiling point. Finally, we will find that compound is what? That is homogeneous in nature. This is all about that of the compound. Let's move on and see the next one, and that is mixture. So, mixture. Mixture is what, student? Mixture is defined as a two or more pure substance, two or more pure substances present in any proportion. Pure substances, it means it can be elements or compounds at any proportion. That is called as the mixture. If we have taken the iron filling, and we have taken the sulfur powder and we have simply mixed it together. That is a mixing of the two elements together, and we have mixed it in any proportion. Such kind of a thing is called as a mixture. Like if we talk about the air. Air is what? That is the mixture of gases. Mixture of gases. Then milk. Mixture of protein, fats, protein, fats and water. Protein, fats and water. Then brass. Brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. Gunpowder, that is a mixture of a potassium nitrate, sulfur and charcoal. Mixture of charcoal, potassium nitrate, sulfur. Mixture of charcoal, potassium nitrate and sulfur. These all are present in that of the gunpowder, which is a mixture of it. Then crude oil is there. Crude oil, it is a mixture of hydrocarbons. mixture of a hydrocarbon. Crude oil, it is the mixture of a hydrocarbon. So this is how the different mixtures are there, students, which when combined together, they combine in any ratio. There is no such fixed ratio between them.